All right, all right, all right. You already know what time it is. We are going into the theory of one of the last virtual event checklist, lighting, ladies and gentlemen. Lighting. One of the three pillars to virtual professionalism. Remember, we got visual, we got audio. Let's get into lighting. Lighting is the most underutilized tool that virtual professionals use because you can use it to your benefit significantly without having to invest in a lot of money to create the image that you're looking for. However, not having the right training and the right knowledge on what type of light to use can be very detrimental to all of the effort that you put into for your virtual event checklist. So let's get into it. Diving into the lighting settings, extremely important to understand is utilize natural light to your advantage. And I say this because natural light doesn't cost anybody anything, and it's an extremely popular way to highlight the features that you're comfortable with. However, not all direct light is good. Not all natural light is good. When you start dealing with the direct sun, you're going to find yourself getting washed out, constantly having to squint when you're in your meetings, and it's going to be an overall disaster. So I let my clients know, if you are having to use natural light to your benefit, please use a north-facing window if possible. When you start dealing with south-facing windows, you're going to have to deal with the morning rise sun and the morning set sun, and it's going to cause a lot of issues when you're trying to create that crispy picture. Use natural light to your benefit, but not all natural light is good light. Always, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you get in your micro studio, and this is why you get 3 lights in your micro studio to implement a 3-point lighting system. You have a key light, you have a fill light, and you have a backlight. 1, 2, 3, key, fill, backlight, or a hair light, however you want to say that. These 3 lighting system is going to be able to give you the opportunity to highlight the features that you're comfortable with. Of course, low light features that you may not be comfortable with. So many struggle to get on video because they are not confident with how they look. Utilizing lighting to your advantage is going to bring you the confidence that you're looking for when showing up on video. So 3-point lighting system, best case scenario, use the 3-point light system and get away from natural light if possible. If you aren't able to get away from natural light, there's ways that you can use it to your benefit, and we will talk about that down at the kitchen table. The way lighting is broken down is by Kelvins. The lower the Kelvin means warmer the light. So you'll see on the scale on the farthest side from me, those are warm tone lights, more of an orangey yellow type feel to it. I'm always going to recommend use the whitest light that you're able to use. I use typically a 5600 Kelvin on my lighting process to give it the whitest light, because, and I'll show you in a bit how it can drastically change the picture. And very often when you're using warm lights, it's from individuals using lights from their roof, from their lamps, and it creates more of an orangey tone on your pigment of your skin. So let's do a quick example of what I mean about the Kelvins in itself. So we look right here, this is all the white lights that I'm using. And with just such a subtle change, I'm going to take this from the white lights, so 5600 Kelvins, and I'm gonna move this down. So you can see it already how drastically that's changed, right? So I'm moving to a warmer, to a warmer, to a warmer light, and you see how orange you can look. This is just me just sliding the dials from warm light to a white light. And I typically let my clients know that you should stay away from the orange lights or warm lights as much as possible. If I'm in a setting where I'm actually casting light on the subject, i.e. me, i.e. you, use warmer tone lights. If you're in a situation where you have to use the white lights, use the whiter lights on you, but the warm lights to amplify the backdrop and to highlight things in the backdrop. Because when you're using warm lights to highlight yourself, you're going to look like an Oompa Loompa, right? So let's keep it to the white lights. This is actually 7,000 Kelvins. 56 to 7,000 Kelvins is kind of my rule of thumb when it comes to those things. So understanding Kelvins and understanding how to implement that when you're creating your dynamic picture. Confirming the quick reminders. Okay, let's get our lights set up here and let's move to the coach's corner, because these are going to be extremely important things to be mindful of. All right, so we'll get the lights turned on there. Let's switch it over at the coach's corner here, and I want to talk to you with the lighting settings. So of course, use natural light to your advantage. However, not all natural light is good light. Stay away from direct sunlight. I highly recommend staying away from south-facing windows. If you're able, use north-facing windows. And if you're not able to do that, you're going to have to grab some curtains, or you're going to have to grab some blinds that's going to diffuse that light for you. So diffusing the light means you're going to soften the light, and you can do these cost-effective with scarves, with blinds. You can go to a Home Hardware or Home Depot and you can get blackout blinds for a very cost-effective rate. And ideally, if you can black out the light and use synthetic lights, that's going to create the best picture. So natural light is good. Understand Kelvins, okay? Which is going to let you understand temperature. Temperature of the picture is going to put more pigment in your skin. It's going to change it a little bit, and it's going to create more of a dynamic picture. So I highly recommend staying away. We want to use about 5,600 to 7,000 Kelvins, more of a whiter light to create the best picture. However, depending on your skin tone, if you have a different color skin tone, the warmer lights actually might cast a better picture for you. Rule of thumb, if you're highlighting your subject, i.e. you, use white lights. Use more of a bright light. If you want to highlight your backdrop, you can use more of a warm light. So use the white light to highlight yourself, warm lights to highlight other features and other aspects of the room. Natural light, understanding your temperature, and then making sure that everything looks well. What am I missing here? We got the natural light, understanding their temperature. Let's even talk, and then obviously, okay, 3-point lighting system, okay? So we got key light, we got a fill light, and this is going to be actually a great example of a backlight. So I actually have a light on the roof, and you can see here when I stand in front how much it highlights the crown and it creates that depth. We'll talk about this more down at the kitchen table, but having a backlight coming on there is what's going to actually separate you from your backdrop and going to be extremely imperative when you start using virtual backgrounds or when you start using green screens on that. So there's the breakdown and confirming your light. Come on now, let's head on to the green screen. We know what we got to do as a team. Hit yourself, confirming the light, quick reminder, boom, bow. Confirm your lighting settings. You already know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most underutilized tool. So please use it, learn, and implement onto your day-to-day routine, and you're going to ensure that you're providing your clients with a crispy, superior picture, and it's going to make sure it's going to highlight the tones that you're looking for when you're running virtual events. We're getting close to the end of it. Let's head downstairs. We're going to talk about background noise quickly, how to handle it, how to manage it, what we need to do. So we'll send you down there quickly. And then once you're down there, we'll come back up and we'll talk about it a little bit more. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you soon.